Unbelievable, Waylon. This is my first Christmas ever with you where you have not given me any kind of a good surprise. If that's how things are going to be with you from now on, then I can't stay married to you anymore.
Aurora? What's going on here? You're talking about wanting a surprise for Christmas? Well, I'm still at work right now, so...
I don't want to hear any of your excuses for it. Did you really think that something like this would make me happy? Or did you think that since this is Christmas, you not giving me anything at all as a surprise would be forgiven by me? Absolutely not, Waylon. This right here shows me that you have scammed me in this marriage.
How does that mean I scammed you? I'm sorry, but I haven't even had a chance to do anything for you yet, so how could you already be saying I've scammed you?
Don't even try to act dumb with me. I have all the evidence I need now, so there's no escaping this.
Evidence of what? How could you even have evidence?
You're the one that thought that surprising me by saying you were coming out would be a good thing, and set it all up with all sorts of evidence just laying around. So why are you asking me about it now?
I have literally no idea what you're going on about right now, Aurora. What do you mean I surprised you by coming out, huh?
Did you really think something as bad as that wasn't going to make me upset? All I wanted was a surprise from you with a gift I'd always been wanting, but this?
And I'm saying that I haven't even been home to do anything yet.
Until you come to me and apologize for what you've done today, I'm going back to my parents' house.
Huh?
And until you're here at my feet begging for my forgiveness, I won't be responding to you. Bye-bye. Matt, I have wonderful news for you.
You again, Aurora? What do you have to tell me? I thought you were going to be spending the holidays over at your house with your husband, right?
Yes, and that was what I was supposed to be doing. But he came out of the closet with something crazy.
What? What all happened there?
I have something I need to show you right now, so I'm going to make my way over to your place, all right?
What? You want to come over here right now?
Your wife left the house 2 days ago and will be gone for some time, right? Even though it's Christmas and the time of year when she should be at home with you.
That's true. She told me her mother had a bad fall and ended up breaking her pelvis. So, for the next 1 to 2 months, she's going back to be with them in order to take care of her mother. Well, that's the excuse she gave to me anyway, but I know that she's really heading out to see another man and stay with him for a while at a hotel.
Well, that's lucky for you and I then. Now, we have plenty of time to show just how much we love one another, and we can do it with freedom inside your place.
Absolutely right.
So, would it be all right if I came over to your house right now?
Of course, get your cute little behind over here.
I'm going to be bringing over some dinner for us to have, and then after that, you need to show me who's boss.
I hope it's gonna be pizza, because eating one of those will give me enough energy to last all night. Hey, Aurora? You told me yesterday that you'd be going home to your parents' house, but I just got off the phone with your mom, and she told me you didn't go home at all last night, and she hasn't seen you at all. I'm not sure where you spent the night last night, but if you were going to go somewhere else, then you need to tell me that first. I'm going to be completely honest right now by saying I'm worried about what you're doing, because none of what you've been doing and saying is making any sense. Aurora, have you made it over to your parents' house yet?
Yes, I have, Matt. And I was just about to start texting you when your message appeared on my phone. I was so happy to finally spend the end of the year with the man of my dreams, yet my husband had to get in the way of it all by asking my mom where I was. Now, my mom has been asking me where I've been, and so I had no choice but to come here. I'm sorry about this, Matt. I'll just be here for a couple of days and then come up with some kind of an excuse that will allow me to come back to your place.
I see. It's gonna be lonely here, but I'll be waiting. I have to say, I'm really surprised. Who knew that your husband would end up being infertile and unable to make you pregnant with any babies?
I was shocked to hear about that as well. And the crazy thing is, he married me always saying that he wanted to have kids as soon as possible. Yet in reality, he can't even get me pregnant. Who knew there would have been something wrong with his balls?
Damn, that sounds to me like he tricked you into marrying him. I get that there are people who are unable to make babies, but the fact that he never told you anything about it until after you guys got married is a complete scam.
Right? That's what I was saying to him. How dare he come out of the closet around Christmas with the surprise of telling me he's infertile? Well, anyway, I've noticed something really awesome about all of this.
What? What have you realized?
My husband hid the fact that he's infertile from me so that I'd become his wife, right? That right there is more than enough reason for me to get a divorce from him, whether he wants one or not.
All right, okay.
And if I'm already able to get a divorce without needing his approval, do you know what else I could do?
What?
I could get a settlement as well.
Oh.
And if by some chance he was able to find out about my relationship with you, I'll tell him it was my way of getting back at him for scamming me into marrying him. I won't be able to get a settlement from him, but I'll at least be able to still get the divorce and say goodbye to him forever, right?
Understood. And now that I'm thinking about it, I know that my wife has been cheating on me as well. I think that would mean I could do the same thing as you and say that I started having a relationship with you as a way of leveling the playing field, and I could also get a divorce. And no matter what happens, we both know that we have the law on our side, right?
We sure do. I want time to fly by so that I can get back over to your place right now.
I want to see you again as soon as possible, too. Aurora, for a little bit now I've been talking with both of your parents about you. They told me that you came back home for a little bit, but after a few days of spending time with them, you left their house again. And they told me that you told them you're at your friend's house right now. And that friend of yours, they're a man, right? Actually, the place that you've been leaving and entering a lot recently is close by to my friend's house as well. And they just so happen to know what you look like. So they were able to tell that you were up to no good and started to take lots of pictures and videos of you going in and out of that house. Sometimes alone and sometimes with that man. My friend has also told me the man is married. Is that right? My friend told me the wife had to leave for a while to go back to her parents to help her mother for a while, and you used that chance to go stay at that man's place and cheat on me with him. So that's what's been going on recently, right? I can see that you're reading these messages yet aren't answering any of them. I'm going to assume that means I hit the nail on the head this time. If you don't respond to me in the next 2 weeks, I'm going to take your cheating into my own hands and deal with you. So are you going to step up and confess or wait things out and see what happens?
Matt, you're on your way home from work right now, correct?
Yeah, just at a stoplight waiting right now.
It seems that my husband found out about us.
Wait, are you serious? That was a lot quicker than I thought. I was hoping for at least a couple more months.
Sounds like in this neighborhood, my husband has a friend and they were able to see me. And, well, they were able to get footage of me going into and coming out of your place.
Damn, so that's how things are gonna go. Too bad. You and I both have an easy way of getting out of this mess, right?
You're dang right. I'm not worried that my husband found out about this one bit.
So, what are we gonna do first?
Let me see. My husband has given me 2 weeks to reply to him before he acts, so how about you and I just keep doing what we're doing and enjoy living with one another in your place right up to the 2-week mark?
Sounds good to me. Ah, the lights turned green. Gotta start driving. I'll be home in a few.
See you soon.
Aurora? It's been 2 weeks now, and yet you haven't responded to me with anything, have you? It's been a whole month now since you left the house, all upset with me over something I still don't quite understand yet, and I'm tired of being ignored by you. Well, it's not like it really matters anymore if you're willing to confess to me or not about cheating, because for the past 2 weeks I've continued to rely on my friend to get evidence for me. The only thing I can really do now is act.
What do you want? It's not like you're any better than me after what you did. So stop talking to me like you're some perfect partner.
Aurora, so you still seem to want to pick a fight right now.
Well, with the way you're talking to me, I have no choice but to feel attacked. You went and married me with all kinds of secrets that I finally found out about and am pissed by.
Are you going on about that surprise you said happened over Christmas? When I got home that night from work, I noticed you opened up an envelope that came from Hospital S. Was what you found in there the surprise that you were talking about?
Of course that's what I'm talking about.
So you saw the paperwork stating that there was a case of infertility.
So you're finally going to open up to me about it now, huh? Who knew that you were hiding such a dark and twisted secret from me? You told me all about how you wanted to have kids, and that's why I chose to marry you.
Well, that paperwork was all for my older brother.
Huh?
I don't want to sound like a prick asking this, but have you ever read medical documents before? At the top, there's a few boxes stating the name of the patient and when they went in to have a procedure or examination done.
What?
I mean, I guess with him being named Wayne, you may have mistook that for Waylon and thought the papers were for me.
What?
So did you read the name on those papers or not?
I guess that could have been your brother's name on there. What the hell is going on here? Why would that kind of paperwork be coming to our house and not his?
Remember how I told you that after 3 years of trying with his wife, they were never able to make any babies? Well, we all concluded that there was something wrong with either him or his wife, and so they both had testing done on them. But my brother and his wife are both living at my parents' house, right? He was worried that if the hospital sent paperwork like that back to their house, they would come across it and freak out over the news. So after talking about what to do with his wife, they decided to have the paperwork sent to our house and that they would come and pick it up later. I guess I forgot to tell you that was going to happen.
What? What the actual hell? Then that means you're...
As far as I'm aware, there's been nothing wrong with me ever since I married you.
What?
And if I remember correctly, it was always you badgering me about how you wanted to have kids right away, and I just agreed that we could try after we got settled in. I did, however, go and get myself tested, though, before our wedding, just in case there was a chance I was infertile, because I didn't want to hurt you.
Are you kidding me?
I have the paperwork saying that I'm fertile. Actually, I have a higher than average sperm count, which should mean I'm more effective. Did I never tell you anything about that? Don't tell me, Aurora. Did you seriously think that I was infertile and that I hid that fact from you in order to get you to marry me? That must be why this whole time you've been talking to me with such a terrible attitude and have acted like I'm the one to blame for everything now. And let me guess, you thought that you cheating on me would go unpunished because you felt that it would be leveling the playing field between the both of us because you thought I swindled you?
About that, Waylon.
Bullseye. Well, due to what you had done back then, I was never able to give you the surprise I had in mind for you for Christmas. However, I've changed my mind now, and the real surprise that I have for you now is divorce paperwork.
Hold on a second, Waylon.
Later on, I'll be going to see my lawyer, so please do a very good job at filling all your parts out. I would hate to have to do everything all over again and see you once more. And by the way, you're going to have to pay me a settlement now, so don't try avoiding that. Now I'm getting out of here. Goodbye forever, you bitch.
What? Hold on. What do you mean forever? Are you serious right now? No way. Matt, what am I going to do now? I made a major mistake.
What?
That paperwork that came in the mail from the hospital, it wasn't for my husband. It was for my husband's older brother, and he's the one who's infertile.
Huh? What the hell are you talking about?
Due to the fact that my husband's older brother lives with his parents, he wanted to have the paperwork sent to our house in order to hide the results from said parents. I didn't know about that and proceeded to take the envelope and open it up. I didn't take a really good look at the name up at the top and just assumed it was my husband who was infertile.
Huh?
And my husband told me he's not infertile. Actually, he has an above-average sperm count.
What did you just say? So in other words, what you're saying is that we're actually completely screwed here. And now that your husband knows you've been cheating on him, he'll be able to get settlements from the both of us?
He already knows everything.
What the actual hell were you thinking, you dumbass?
But listen, even if my husband is going to ask for some money from us, it's not like your wife can do anything since you know she's been cheating on you, right? I think as long as we play things safe, we'll only have to give up half our money.
About that actually,
What? Matt, what?
My wife leaving the house to go back to her parents' house? She wasn't lying to me about that after all.
Huh?
I believed my close friend who told me that she was cheating on me. That's why I made my move with you. But after talking with my friend a few weeks later, he told me he mistook my wife being with another man, and that the man was just her father.
What?
She was just out with her father at the time, helping him go shopping for food and some other things.
Huh? What the hell is wrong with you, man? What the hell were you doing believing such a stupid mistake? Matt, we are so freaking screwed now that it's not even funny.
Why are you yelling at me? You're the one that messed up thinking that your husband was infertile because you couldn't read a simple name. Now we're both going to have to pay him as well. At least my wife hasn't found out about us yet, so as long as things stay that way, we won't have to pay her. But you let your husband find out about this.
But what if your wife does find out? You at least have a job and can pay off 2 settlements, but I've been a housewife all this time. How am I supposed to pay for everything?
And you think my job can support me having to give up tens of thousands of dollars?
At least you have a job, unlike me.
Well, I don't have the money to pay for you, so stay away from me. You figure out how to pay off your settlements from them yourself. I'm not here to be your bank.
What? What the frick? You're a jackass, Matt.
You're the one that screwed the both of us here.
Ugh, what the hell are we going to do here? Seriously.
That's what I'm trying to figure out right now.
I hate this. I hate this. I hate this. I hate all of this.
Shut the hell up! A few days later, with the help of my lawyer, I was able to get settlements from the both of them. And of course, I made sure to get in touch with that guy Matt's wife, and the both of us went to them asking for settlements at the same time in order to crush them. When I first told her about what had been happening, she had no clue her husband had been cheating on her and was in complete shock and denial at first. But after showing her all the evidence that I had, there was no denying that it was her house Aurora was going into, and that was her husband with my wife. When she had finally calmed down, I allowed her to talk with my lawyer and use the evidence I had for her divorce. Some may say it was wrong of me to have waited a whole month without ever talking to my wife about any of what happened, but at the same time, it wasn't me who was ignoring the other. But thanks to that, the amount of evidence that I had really helped me win this case. And after I got all my money from both Aurora and Matt, I was able to finish the divorce. There's no need saying this, but those two ended up getting in a lot of debt in order to pay everything off. And I'm sure that's gonna hurt Aurora a whole lot more than Matt. Those two also lost a lot of their friends and family after word spread around about what had happened. And with nobody to rely on for support, they both moved into a very run-down apartment to start their new life together. Said life is filled with things like fighting and ignoring one another, but if that was really the life those two wanted to have after cheating on their significant others, then by all means I hope they're happy arguing all the time. And we should leave them to it. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
William, we have a huge problem right now. I need you to answer me.
Huh? What do you want from me, Catherine? I'm about to become rich really soon here. So leave me alone and get back to doing whatever the heck it is you do with your life now.
This is not the time for you to be at the casino, William. Something very serious has happened.
Jeez, you're at it again trying to act like my mother. You were my dad's second choice, you know that?
And your dad just got into a serious car accident and had to be taken away in an ambulance because his injuries were that serious.
Huh?
I just got a call saying he's on his way to a hospital, so you need to hurry up and get over there as well.
Sure, I guess.
Excuse me, William. Are you back out gambling at that casino again?
I sure am, and?
Today is your dad's memorial, and tomorrow he's going to be buried at the cemetery. You should already be aware of that, right?
I know already. Jeez, I plan to be there at 6 p.m. when the memorial begins.
But I want you here right now so that you can help me with some of the preparations.
I'm sure you do. This is your last chance to do anything wife-like for my dad, and after this we won't need you anymore. I'll make sure to do away with you and finally have the peace and quiet I've been wishing for.
You're in the same shoes as me, though. This is your last chance to be like a son to your dad. So don't you want to be here right now to make some of your last memories you'll ever have with him?
Honestly, second wives like you are also freaking unbearable. Ooh, I just hit a jackpot.
William!
I want to talk about my inheritance.
What?
I want to talk about the inheritance I'm getting from my dad. You're going to help me get every penny that man left behind for me, right?
Listen here, William. That is not the kind of thing you should be asking about right now when his funeral only just happened today.
But considering the fact that you're my dad's second wife, I'm sure you're going to try and lay your hands on all of his money, and I have to make sure something like that never happens.
Jesus Christ, you child. I plan to talk with the lawyer in a couple of weeks about the money and assets your dad has left behind in his death.
Huh? You telling me a lawyer is going to be around to deal with what he left behind?
Just in case we need any help. Your dad didn't leave behind a very large will or anything, but it would be nice to have some legal help in this, since I'm his second wife, and we also have you to consider when it comes to what goes to who. Now, would you just forget about his money for the time being and focus on respecting your dad for the man he was?
What a pain in the ass.
Another thing. All of your dad's family is going to be coming over to the house right now to stay for a bit, since a lot of them came all the way out here from different parts of the U.S.
What? Why?
Because you haven't bothered to do anything in order to help out with getting all your dad's things in order, so I'm having them stay at the house in order to help me instead.
Catherine? It's been a couple of weeks now, so can we talk about the money yet?
So this is about the inheritance your dad has left behind?
Well, what else would I be talking about? I've become tired of waiting for some lawyer to get all that work done that you got them involved for, so I'm going to give you a piece of my mind and put an end to all of this waiting around.
I guess I'll have to ask. What exactly do you have to say?
You, being my dad's second wife, makes you a stranger. And as a stranger, I don't want anything to do with you. So that means I'm cutting ties to you now, which now means all of that money and crap that my dad's left behind will become mine now.
What? Do you have any idea what it means to be a legal inheritor of someone's things?
You're talking about someone who's legally obligated to someone else's things after they've died, right? Yeah, I already looked into all of that.
I see. Then, when it comes to what you've just told me, even though you are aware of the fact that I'm the legal inheritor of your dad's things, having been his wife, you're going to tell me to leave it all so that you can have it?
That's what I'm saying. I'm sure that you only married my dad to get all of his money in the first place, right? But had you not gotten in the way and married my dad after he got rid of his first wife, all of that money would be coming to me. In other words, all of that money and crap that he had was mine, and that means I'm legally allowed to get it from you.
I guess I can explain all of this to you instead of letting the lawyer do it.
What are you talking about? I'm not going to listen to any more of your excuses.
I'm sure you're not going to, and I understand that. Then please allow me to say this one last thing to you before I go. Did you know that when I got married to your dad, he and I got ourselves a lawyer who made it so that I would not be given access to any of his money and assets after he passed?
Wait, are you serious?
I know that neither of us had said anything to you about it this whole time. But I happen to have a company of my own right now, so I have no need for any of your dad's things.
Well, what the heck? Then there was no reason for you to get a dang lawyer involved, now was there? It's already been decided that everything will be going to me, so all I have to do is go and get what's mine.
But William, do you not know anything about this yet?
About what?
Your dad and his previous wife had a daughter together before they separated.
What?
She had her just before you, which means that she's around the same age. 28 years old now, if I'm remembering your age correctly. He and his daughter kind of stopped talking to one another long ago because of reasons, but that didn't stop her from being his daughter, and that did not erase her from the will he wrote regarding what he left behind.
Huh?
By the way, during the funeral, she was there, and she even went up to say one last goodbye to your dad while he was in the casket. I'm sure she was even sitting with all your dad's family there.
Hold on a sec. You're telling me that my dad and my mom both had another girl before she left, and that's who that girl is?
That's right. However, your mom took custody of her in the divorce and left you to your dad, and that's why you never really heard anything about her. And I think that was what both your mom and dad wanted to happen. Now, the reason why I asked you to get a lawyer involved in all of this lies with what I just told you. I was worried that she would be coming back to look for her money from her dad, and that would lead to some confrontations with you, and so I wanted a professional around to help straighten things up. The thing is, though, I didn't think the only person who would be causing so much trouble would be the young man I'm talking to right now. That lawyer will want to talk to you in 3 days, so when he's around, please listen to everything he has to say about what's been left behind and what is yours.
I am not going to let this happen. Why am I not allowed to get any of my dad's money? I'm my freaking dad's son, am I not? At the very least, shouldn't I be splitting whatever my dad left behind with that daughter he had with my mom? My sister, I guess? Why the hell is it only her getting all of my dad's things now?
And perhaps that has to do with the fact that she actually cared about her dad and became an outstanding daughter for him?
Huh? I'm the outstanding child.
I'm sure you're not fully understanding everything from the past, but the woman your dad had his daughter with was not your mom, but another woman he married before your mom. But she left him right as she had his daughter, and not too long after he married your mom. But you were already born by the time he married her, so you were just her son that she brought along into his life. I know this will come as a shocker to you in some ways, but you're not your dad's real child. You should kind of already be aware of that, though, right? Your mom wasn't even your dad's first choice, and he got married to her while she dragged you into his life because he needed someone to comfort him. Then, after a while had passed and you had turned 20, your mom left this world and both your dad and you, right? Your dad was again single, and the loneliness made him turn to me a few years after her death. And that's why I've been his wife and your mom for the past 5 years. That's the whole story I had been told by the lawyer. Does all of that sound correct to you?
That's all spot on, but I know all of that. But I know that my dad chose to marry my mom after his first wife left him. Which means he should be totally fine with me getting all of his inheritance as his son, right?
What?
What?
William, your dad never legally adopted you as his own son, right?
What? I guess not. I remember hearing things about how he never wanted to have custody of me as his child and wanted my mom to always care for me. Something like that. But what does that have to do with anything? As far as I'm aware, it means nothing now.
Do you think that just because your mom married him, you would be getting all of your dad's inheritance after he passed away?
Huh?
This is something else that the lawyer explained to me. When you went and first talked with him about the inheritance and who would be getting it, you were so shocked by what he said that you didn't even bother to listen to the second half of the explanation. Is that true?
I guess he's right. After he told me I wasn't getting a penny, I don't remember anything. It's all just really vague now.
To put all of what the lawyer said into simple terms, because your dad did not legally adopt you as his son, that means you don't get access to any of his money.
Are you freaking kidding me?
So give up on it now. I'm sure you don't want to accept any of this, but you can't continue acting like a spoiled child at your age.
But if I don't get that money, I'll be screwed.
And how would you be screwed if you didn't get his money?
I'm in debt.
Really?
Thinking that I'd be getting all of my dad's money, I started to have a field day at the casino, betting on all kinds of games and playing all kinds of machines. I borrowed a lot of money to do so, but everything I bet on and all the machines that I played, I lost. I have to do something about all of this debt before the end of the month, or else I'm gonna be royally screwed.
Seriously?
The end of the month is really soon.
What the hell have you done, William?
But come on!
I'm going to find myself a temporary place until I can calm down, and I'm having all of my things moved into there.
What?
I'm afraid you will try and take my money soon in order to pay off your debts, so I need to get away from you.
Wait a second. What about the house and food?
Not my problem anymore.
Listen here, Catherine. After taking some time to think this all through, things are a lot more simple than I had first thought. All I have to do now is have you adopt me as your child and be taken care of by you.
What the hell?
Catherine, you run your own company now, right? In other words, that means you have plenty of money just sitting around waiting to be used. Also, you don't happen to have any children yet, right? So that means as long as I become your adopted son, I can get access to your inheritance when you're gone, which would mean I can pay off all this debt.
Hey, William, you do understand that I'm only in my early 40s right now, right?
What? I know that, sure.
And you do understand how to get access to someone's inheritance, right? So far, I haven't had any issues with any sort of illness that would reduce my time on this earth any, so you'll be waiting quite a while for any money to be coming from me. The thing is, though, I'm not willing to give you any of my things anyway after I die. Are you really that desperate now that you're trying to act like I'm going to die soon and that you can get my money?
Huh? Oh, no, wait, that's not what I meant by that.
Well, whatever you say about those comments, I've already gone and made up my mind on who gets my money. And that is going to be my niece, who will not only be getting all my money when I pass away, but also my company and all of its assets. So no matter what you try and do from here on out, you're not going to get your hands on any of my stuff.
No way! Catherine, I just got an idea!
And what could it be this time?
That niece of yours that you were talking about yesterday. Introduce her to me.
Huh?
I'm gonna get married to your niece now. Making her my wife would mean that she'd have to help me pay off my debt. And as for this first part of the debt that has to be paid off here soon, I'll just use her savings in order to do so. Oh, thank God. I was afraid I wouldn't be able to come up with a solid plan in time. With this, I'll finally be able to get past this bump in the road and be safe. And on top of that, I'll be able to become the husband of a future company owner. I'll be frickin' rich. My life is gonna be so easy. I've finally done it.
My niece is married, William.
What?
And she already had 2 kids with her husband.
She seriously has kids as well?
William, would you cut that crap out right now and pull your own pants up for once?
What?
Every single day, day after day, all you ever do is gamble. Slot machines, roulette tables, poker games, horse racing. Us normal people call adults like you gambling addicts. I'm sure you made it this far with that addiction of yours by having all your dad's money at your disposal, but you cannot do that anymore and have to start taking responsibility for yourself. Get a dang job now, please. And if you're wanting to say that you don't want to work or that you don't like working, then prepare yourself for a life of even greater struggles.
You're asking me to work now?
I'm sure no self-respecting company would want to hire you, but I can introduce you to some good manual labor jobs that wouldn't mind the extra meat.
What?
Actually, I don't need an answer from you because I'm going to make you work for them. That house you're in now that you've lived in with your dad and I will be gone at the end of the month.
What? You're getting rid of it?
I'm sure you were aware of this, but your dad was renting that large house this whole time. I could take the place for myself and start paying rent on it for you and I, but I don't find living with you a very good joke anymore, and that's why I'm gone. I've actually taken additional steps in order to stay away from you by changing my last name back to that of my parents' last name, and will be heading home to them soon. Since I'm no longer in that house anymore, there's no way for you to pay the rent, right? Which is why that place will be gone at the end of this month.
Are you kidding me? Catherine, this place that you introduced me to work at, I didn't think you'd be putting me into a freaking internment camp. This all-black van just pulled up to the house and 4 men have all just jumped out of it.
Ah, so you know about where they'll be taking you then?
One of my friends was taken away by guys like those 10 years ago, and ever since that happened, I never heard from him again.
I've heard that after having one's life turned around and made into a dependable adult, they no longer want to get in touch with the bad influences they'd hung out with before. So I'm sure that your friend from 10 years ago is now working a proper job and making a decent living that he doesn't want you ruining.
For crying out loud, Catherine!
You'll be fine. They're not going to take you to some internment camp where you'll have to live the rest of your life working for them until you die. I just happen to know a company that does really well with hiring undisciplined men like you and turning them into decent members of this society through long days of hard manual labor at a stone quarry.
How the hell is 4 men hopping out of a blacked-out van not something that's gonna kill me? Catherine! Hey, I'm in seriously bad trouble now here. I didn't think that having to work all the way out in the middle of nowhere could be this bad, but it is. I've already tried calling you 100 times now. Come on! Help me, please! Ah!
On the day that the all blacked out van pulled up to get William, he was only just getting out of bed, and so when he noticed the van and made a run for it, he only had his boxers on. The only issue for him was he weighed close to 300 pounds due to never being active and always eating junk food, so he only made it close to 30 feet from the house before collapsing. And as he flipped over to see who was coming, the largest of the four men, who was muscle from head to toe, lifted him off the ground and threw him into the back of their van, all while William screamed like a little girl. He was forced to start working in the quarry the moment he was dropped off there, but they forgot to take away his phone, and that's what led to him spam calling me all night long. And during the following day, when he was still trying to get in touch with me, his boss saw the phone and became furious with rage. As a sort of a side note to all of this, William got himself into $35,000 worth of debt from gambling. I suppose as long as William is able to continue working for that quarry without dying of a heart attack or stroke, he'll be able to pay everything off. As for myself, I've begun to calm down little by little, but with the thoughts of my late husband still running through my mind, I've felt lonely. But it's only been a few weeks now since his death, so give it a few more days, and I'm sure I'll be ready to get back to my life as a CEO, living it for the both of us. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Oh my God, Martin, do my eyes deceive me? Or did I just walk by you a second ago? I thought I had a stalker on my hands.
Yeah, I had a feeling it was you that I saw.
Wait, you're not really stalking me, are you?
But considering that 7 whole years have passed since you broke up with me in one of the worst ways imaginable, no, Una. I would sooner go out of my way to avoid you, rather than follow you around.
Okay, so then tell me what you're doing in the same luxury hotel that I'm staying in. This is the last place I ever thought I'd bump into my broke loser ex-boyfriend. I bet this place costs more a night than you make in a year. Is that what you did? Did you save up all your money for the last 7 years just to blow it all on a 1 in a million chance to run into me here? I wouldn't put that past you. Poor people have done dumber things with their money.
I see you're still under the impression I'm a broke loser.
Yeah, well, I mean, you are a broke loser, so...
Listen, Una, I told you all this at the time, but let's refresh your memory. The reason I quit my job at the company I'd been with since graduating is because I wanted to get my own company up and running.
Yeah, I totally remember that. What's your point? Let me guess, you thought you were finally ready to make the big launch, but then realized you were way in over your head and fell further and further into soul-crushing debt. Am I right? Don't tell me you already declared bankruptcy. I tried searching online for your company's name a while back, and you know what came up? 0 hits. And that's what you are, a zero, a broke loser, like I said.
I'm not really sure what you're talking about. My company is the top result when you search for the name.
Oh, right. Sure. Well, I hate to break it to you, but I definitely did search for your stupid company's name, and it definitely returned 0 results. So unfortunately, I see through your pathetic lie.
And like I said, every single search engine I know of returns my company's homepage as the top result when you search for the name. What site are you using anyway? Are you sure you're spelling it right?
But enough about you. Let's talk about me. Guess what? Last month, I got married to a super rich, high-powered businessman. We're going to have a ceremony in my husband's hometown, and we came out here to do some planning with his parents. And we thought that since we were coming all the way out here, We might as well stay at the biggest, most luxurious, most expensive hotel in the city. It feels so great to be treated like the princess I am. He's totally different from a certain broke loser ex-boyfriend of mine. I won't name names, though.
What a day. I get called out here by a client for a meeting, and no sooner do I get to the hotel than I run into my legendarily narcissistic, veritable comic book villain of an ex-girlfriend in the lobby. I just can't catch a break.
I knew it. You're not staying on your own dime. You could never afford a place like this.
The CEO of a firm that's one of my biggest clients invited me to come out here for a private gathering. We work together a lot, so we've kind of developed a relationship in our off time as well.
A CEO, you say? Sure. I bet it's some failure running a bankrupt company that's just trying to save face by putting you up in a sweet hotel. Careful about ordering too much room service. You might just spend the company's last dime. Losers always stick together, don't they?
And here we go again.
What's the matter? Did I strike a nerve?
Everything I say, no matter what I say, you always find some way to twist it into an insult. Well, I'll give you credit for creativity, though. But just like 7 years ago, your insults are so hilariously far off the mark that I can't even bring myself to get angry at you. It's just kind of boring and sad.
I don't want to hear anything about boring or sad from the likes of you.
In any case, you're a married woman now. If you get caught talking with your ex-boyfriend, your husband might think something untoward about you. Or worse, about me.
Oh, there it is. That's what you were going for. You're hoping my husband comes by and sees us together. You're going for the cross-court three-pointer, huh? Make my husband jealous and angry at me, get us to break up, and then you swoop in like a knight in shining armor to pick me up from my sadness. God, you're lame.
Boy, you wasted no time in proving me right. Once again. 10 out of 10 for creativity. Bravo.
Using sarcasm to hide your depression? Lame!
For the record, I have a girlfriend, and I'm thinking about proposing to her soon.
What?
I don't know what your schedule looks like from here on out, but in the event that you're going to be staying here for a while longer, do me a favor, and if we ever happen to cross paths again, let's just pretend we've never met before. I mean, God, I wish I'd never met you.
You're not fooling anyone, loser. You know you still want me.
I'd rather get, I don't know, AIDS, cancer, and Ebola at the same time than get back together with you.
Again, not fooling anyone.
Enjoy your delusions, Una. I hope you have a nice stay here. Bye. Hey there, Martin. You alright? Huh? Oh, Isaac, it's you. What's up? Nothing serious. There's just something odd that happened downstairs a minute ago. I'd gone down to the lobby to take care of some business, and I'd stopped by the executive lounge to grab a drink before heading back to my room. And while I was there was this woman talking in a bizarrely loud voice. The guy who looked like he was probably her husband. She said she ran into a boyfriend from 7 years ago in the lobby, and when she started talking about where she first met that guy and everything, well, I was pretty sure that she was talking about you. Uh-oh. I thought, I don't know, maybe something bad had gone down with you, so I thought I'd text you. Make sure you're okay. Let me guess. Did this woman use the phrase broke loser a lot? Yeah, like every other sentence. It was kind of weird. I mean, all the other stuff like the university and time frame fits you to a T, but you're not a loser, and you're definitely not broke. That woman has an ability to get lost in her delusions like no one else I've ever met. In fact, the reason we broke up 7 years ago was precisely that. She couldn't get over her own delusions. She even just texted me, just now, to take the opportunity to call me a broke loser 4 times in as many minutes. Wait, you mean your old girlfriend still has your phone number? You didn't block her number? Well, we got a lot of common friends, so it's actually pretty hard for me to completely get rid of her. As for not blocking her, I don't know. I just felt like it would be safer for me to be able to keep tabs on what she's up to. Wow. Well, that's fantastically bad luck for you, man. And there's one more thing I wanted to ask. This ex-girlfriend of yours, do you know who her husband is? No, I don't. As a matter of fact, the first time I heard she was married, when she texted me to lord the fact over me just now, she said that she married a super rich, high-powered businessman, so I figured he must be some kind of big shot. Huh. Okay. Why'd you ask? You got a good look at his face. Anyone you know? Yeah, actually. It's probably been about 3 years or so since I've seen him, but I've definitely met him before. It's just, well, she said he was a high-powered businessman. Yeah. Gosh, shoot, I just saw the time. Look, we're about to be late for the reservation at the hotel diner. Oh, no, we better get going then. We'll continue this conversation over dinner, okay? Sure, sounds fine. I'm on my way.
Hey there, Martin. What you up to right now?
I'm up to anything that prevents me from speaking to you right now.
Let me guess, you don't have enough money to pay for your room, so you're working it off in the kitchen? That's what you get for quitting a stable, high-paying job to start some stupid company on your own. I'd say you're making no more than $20,000 a year right now. Am I right? Who am I kidding? Of course I'm right. What kind of loser makes just 20 grand a year? That's not even poverty wages. That's like third world peasant wages.
For the love of God, Una, could you possibly go one day without dragging me into some psychotic fantasy you have?
Maybe I can get my husband to give you a job cleaning toilets at his office.
Well, speaking of your husband, the CEO I told you about who invited me out here is named Isaac Treywell. You ever heard of him? He tells me he is actually familiar with your husband.
Really? Is he the CEO of the company that cleans my husband's office? I'm gonna have to get my husband to change custodian companies. What kind of third-rate businessman doesn't come up and say hello to the people who pay his salary?
No, that's not how they know each other. Actually, back before your husband went independent, he used to work at Isaac's company.
What? Wait a minute, my husband's old company? But that company was one of the biggest in town. Not just in town, in the whole state. You know the CEO of that company?
I told you he was a client. I also heard that your husband is moving back to his old town.
Well, that's news to me.
Yeah, well, Isaac seemed to know about it. It's a pretty small industry. It wouldn't take much time for news like that to make it from one CEO to another.
But that's impossible. My husband's company headquarters is downtown.
Well, yeah, for now. But the word on the street is that he's closing that business down and going back to the city he was born in.
What?
Your husband's town is about 20 minutes from here by car, right?
I don't get it. What are you trying to say?
Wait, you really don't get it? Oh boy. Don't tell me he actually hasn't told you anything yet.
Well, now that I think about it, he said something about buying a house out in the country and something about moving. I just thought he was going to get us a vacation house out on the lake or something where we could spend weekends and holidays. But we're going to be living there permanently?
Oh, so it sounds like he has told you about what his plans are. Oh, looks like that delusional Ben of yours has come back around to bite you this time. You were so caught up in your fantasy life that you'd closed your eyes to reality.
No, that can't be. But I wanted to be married to a high-powered businessman. What's going to happen to me now?
I'd say you should probably talk to your husband about that. I'm just telling you the information that I got third hand from someone who heard it through the grapevine.
No, I thought I had finally made it. I thought I was set for life. Okay, that's it. I'm divorced now. So we can get married anytime, Martin.
Huh?
After we ran into each other at the hotel, I did a little more digging into you. Turns out you were right. I wasn't spelling your company's name right. Don't know how I managed to get it that wrong, but whatever. That explains why I wasn't getting any hits when I searched for it online. Anyway, when I typed it in correctly, I couldn't believe it. Your company is the biggest in your industry. That's incredible. You're something else. I am so flattered that you would work so hard just to impress me.
Huh?
The problem is that I can't seem to find your current address. I've got the marriage certificate application all filled out except for that. So you can sign it after you give me a shipping address where I can send all my stuff to.
Marriage certificate. Shipping address.
That's right. As of today, we're moving in together. So what's your address?
Una, I told you this back at the hotel. I'm seeing someone. We're pretty serious.
What?
We've been living together for 6 months now. In other words, I don't want you coming anywhere near my house.
Oh, but come on now. You know that I'm way more of a woman than her, whoever she is.
Well, for one, she doesn't fly off into bizarre delusions on a daily basis. And that alone puts her well ahead of you.
Martin, you can't trust her. I know her type. All she's after is your wealth and status. She just wants to be married to a super rich, high-powered businessman.
Boy, that phrase sounds really familiar.
Right? She's a total psychopath, I can tell.
Oh yeah? Well, she makes more money than me, though.
She does?
Remember the CEO I told you about before? Isaac? She's his younger sister.
No way.
Not only does she have a seat on the board at Isaac's company, but she's also a real estate investor on the side. Well, compared to her, I'm basically like the nighttime janitor at a convenience store.
Wait, seriously?
To be perfectly honest with you, I would never, ever be interested in a woman like you, whose only goal in life is to be the bimbo trophy wife of any rich businessman who will take him. No, for me, I prefer a working woman who is intelligent, witty, hardworking, and independent, like, my girlfriend. I could never share the rest of my life with anyone but her. She has everything I want. I love her, but more importantly, I respect her, and not just as my girlfriend or as a woman, but as a fellow businessman.
Okay, well, in that case, do you think you could introduce me to your friend, Isaac?
That's a joke, right?
Nope. From what you're saying, it sounds like he's a pretty stand-up guy. He's totally my type. So can you give me his number?
Isaac is married.
Oh no, really?
Yeah, and I've never met anyone who is more devoted to his wife than he is. He also has 2 kids, one in middle school and the other in elementary school. Sorry to say, but you're not going to have any luck with him.
Damn it. Isn't there anyone else you can introduce me to? You have to know a bunch of CEOs. One of them has to be single, or at least open-minded.
Not a chance.
Please.
No. Well, okay. That does it. That's all I can take from you. I'm never speaking to you again. Goodbye.
Martin, don't go. Martin, answer the phone, please.
I heard about what happened next from one of our mutual friends. Apparently, Una was so certain that she and I were going to get married that she told her husband that she would pay him off to let her go without a fight. She wasn't too concerned about the money since, again, she was positive that I was going to foot the bill for her. So, without so much as talking to a lawyer, she offered an incredible amount of $50,000 as a parting gift, and even signed a contract binding her to fork out the money. Now, a contract like that is most likely unenforceable in court, and there are probably 1,000,001 ways to get out of it, but I think I'll keep that information to myself. The whole incident really got me thinking. Maybe these delusions of hers are getting out of control. Well, maybe she needs some special help to deal with them. Well, her family apparently got the same idea. They immediately had her committed and placed under a conservatorship to prevent her from destroying her life or anyone else's more than she already has. And with that, I felt like it was finally time to block her phone number and erase her from my contacts. Peace at last.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.